So it was a lot to take in. And I didn't make my video after Johnny tweeted those pictures. So that brings me to what I wanted to speak about today. So I really try not to even pay attention to this stuff. However, like, I am glad that it was presented to me in this way, and I'm like thankful. So like, in all sincerity, and I mean this because Swoop is another one who's clear. It's like, Trisha has done stuff that I don't agree with. She does that disclaimer, which I totally get everyone should do. But not, I think you truly, for getting those photos taken down from Twitter, I really thought it was Johnny who took them down. As he said, he took them down because they served their purpose, was his quote. But Swoop was, in her video, said after 20 minutes, she had to like convince him to take it down. And in the video, Johnny was very much like, well, he refers to me as an untouchable public figure, so it was fine. He had tweeted about me this June saying, Colleen, she's doing a podcast with a porn star. What did she expect? Which I'm not a porn star. I've done sex work. I still have sex work available, but I'm not a porn star. Even if I was a porn star, it really doesn't justify these things. I think porn stars are like really, they fall victim a lot to photos like this being used inappropriately, criminally. It's a really bad stigma. It's something that we get blamed for. And it's, like, just hearing the almost sort of like, because he presented it as like, I was sent these unsolicited, I didn't want these, but then to hear about him like searching for these with the intent to obviously make fun of me, there's no other reason. I mean, he said I was on a watch list. Like, the more stuff that comes out, like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with myself sometimes, because again, it brings up this guilt of being a sex worker. It brings up this guilt that I was like friends and like talking to and like supporting this person who was like really a monster when it comes to this stuff. I go back and forth with like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to feed into it, but it's not drama. And I think people take this like lightly, which I said before, this isn't something to take lightly. This is very serious. This is someone in a power position, like doing this to minor and just feeling like it's okay, like, well, they were jokes, they were this. But even if that's how you felt at the time or still feel, like, there's a very real 16-year-old girl who feels traumatized by this. Rightfully so. If you're 16, you don't know. I was 16. I didn't know. I was, trying to get the attention of any celebrity any way I could. And of course now you're just like, oh, that was weird. That wasn't appropriate. That was that. And there's no acknowledgement of that. It's like, it's just a lot. And then the more I hear about this like watch list, this obsession, I'm just like, I don't know how to process it. I don't know how to process it. I don't know how to deal with like the guilt of it. I don't know what to do to make it better. There's very real people hurting. It's a very real situation. Part of me is like, I don't want to talk about it and keep it going. But at the same time, it's something that, this shouldn't be a slap on the wrist. Everything's okay. This is a very serious thing. And you guys, I'm very anti-cancel culture, but this is not cancel culture. Someone making mistakes in their past or doing something silly, stupid in their past. I don't think they should be canceled for the rest of their life, but this is something that's very serious, not that far in the past, a repeated pattern of behavior. So again, back to the Swoop thing, thank you, Swoop, for getting those pictures taken down, because, I think Johnny said something along the lines of like, I thought that would make her feel better or something, that it's like out there. And Swoop was like, how do you think that's helping her? It's not helping me, at all. There's plenty of ways to get a hold of me. Adam McIntyre sent an email to my business email, which does not go to me, but it was forwarded to me. He could verify that I replied from a different email. It was forwarded. I did not reply from that email. I don't have access to that email. Someone else checks that email for me. But there's plenty of ways to get that message to me that like I would be able to see, and the person will forward to me. Person checks my email, forwards me anything that's obviously something like this that's like flagged, that's serious, that needs my attention. I think it was in Swoop's video, unless she was like showing a clip of someone else's video, but I think it was Swoop's video, the way she censored it, which was, a big blurb, and you could just see, and you could, there's definitely ways to have censored it. And it is humiliating. I think there's people who, and I try to be really strong, and you have to be doing this for so long that it's like, well, it's Trish, she's used to it. Or I've seen the argument that I post these things myself, and so it's fine. It's like, one, I do this a lot, and people think it's like a weird thing that I do, but I post and delete a lot because, this is my work, this is my line of work. I'm not necessarily ashamed of it. It's something I'm hopefully going to get away from in the future. So I post to promote. This is my income. This is my work. I post to promote, and it's definitely not in the light that people are sharing these photos. Like, there's screenshots of me, and like, it's not flattering or whatever. The ones I post are very picked, but I can post those. Anyone else can't. And I think that's another stigmatism, but that's a bad stigma. But now I can see that those photos were posted with certainty to humiliate me, to force me into talking, because he was so upset that I wasn't saying anything, that I wasn't talking, that this forced me to talk. I think he mentioned it in another interview too. I don't know where I saw it, like TikTok or whatever. It was in another interview where it was like, well, she wasn't saying anything. So I'm like, this will get her to talk. So to me, that's just this whole other level of just, of course it was to humiliate me. Of course the pictures are to body shame. He was like, oh no, I didn't send the pictures to body shame. Oh, well, one time. There's no other reason to send that. The way he talks about my photos being like she was butt naked with a big grin on her face. Like, it's just that is manipulative, that is gross, that is disgusting, that is a form of just forcing someone, of humiliating them, all of the above, and that he wasn't going to take it down without Swoop. And he even said, I respect Swoop. He's like, I respect you, so like, I think maybe I'll take it down. So I guess he took down all but one. So like, truly, 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 as far as people have gone to, I don't want to use the word defend, but like, I guess in this situation, like, I guess defend in this situation, the Swoop has definitely done a lot more than she needed to, because I do think that the story should focus on like a lot of other people. I think because I have like, I've been around for so long, and like, I have like this name or whatever, it just ties me to the story. But I don't love that like there's just more people being tied to the story, including Swoop. And I felt for her too. I feel like this just becomes this like really dark tangled web, and it's just like, I think it's like triggering and traumatizing for like a lot of people.